Okay, so it is day 1 of BookCon. I am exhausted. So, booktube bar night was a lot of fun. I got to, see a lot of people, a lot of which I've already, seen many times, but I did get to see Allie from Hardback Hoarder, which was really cool. I absolutely adore her, and Rocky from Blonde with a Book. So that was cool. I really wish I could have brought my camera, but I couldn't bring it to Harry Potter, so anyway, I'm dressed and ready to go for the day. I really didn't feel like putting any makeup on, but I kind of felt like I had to, so here's my makeup for the day. And my outfit of the day. I'm wearing this cute little outfit. My shoes, not so cute, but I got blisters between my toes from the cute shoes I wore yesterday that I would have worn today. So I'm wearing ugly, comfy shoes. But I still think I need to get band-aids for those blisters between my toes. So now I'm gonna go down, get me some breakfast, and then I'm gonna head over to the Javits Center because I want to get there early today. I'm so excited. All right, I'll check in with you later. Dude, this crowd is insane. Look at this. Just so many people everywhere. Oh my gosh. So I am in line. I got my little ticket for the Babysitter Club. I'm so excited. I also went and got the graphic novels from the other 2 authors that are working with Ann and Martin. So I can get all 3 of them to sign those, which is awesome. And yeah, I just thought I'd do a little quick check-in and try, to remember to actually vlog more. But we're getting ready to move. I can't wait. Want to say hi to YouTube? Hi, YouTube. Y'all want to say hi to YouTube? Hey, YouTube. Maybe she'll be a little YouTuber one day. Or a famous writer. She wants to do that. Oh my god, y'all, look what I got. So there's this, flip it open, and bam! Woo! I'm so excited. Woohoo! So day 1 of BookCon is over and done. I'm back at the hotel now. I've just kind of been laying on my bed looking at Twitter and stuff because I'm so freaking tired. But I'm about to go out and find some dinner. I sent a message out on Twitter to see if anybody wanted to join me, so maybe somebody will. I don't know. But I'm just gonna go to a place probably close by, get me something to eat, maybe get me a couple of drinks because I've got some little things from the hotel that get me free drinks. So I'm gonna go and do that. And I don't know if I'll check in again tonight or not. Maybe I'll show you, right outside my hotel because it's actually pretty cool. Ooh, I might show you going through the lobby and stuff because that's also pretty nice. Dude, just at the areas when you first come up the elevators, there's these lobbies, which are really pretty. I'll show you those. There's a big screen projection TV and stuff on each floor. It's crazy. All right, so let's go. I'll show you around a little bit and I'm gonna go get some food. Talk to you later. So this is the area where the elevators are. They even have books in here. I love it. Yeah, they got this big couch, a couple of chairs here, and there's the big TV. I think it's pretty awesome. All right, now let's go down. Okay, so this is when you come down from the lobby. You have a business center over there, and then this way, so many people. Oh my gosh, I guess apparently there's a lot of people checking in right now. There's a lot of kids here. I'm not really sure what that's for, but cool. So we're going towards the front door. There's many different entrances and exits, but I wanted to show y'all what's right outside the front door because it's pretty cool. There we go. And then right there is Madison Square Garden. Cool, huh? Here's New York, guys. All right, I'm gonna go get some food. It is day 2 of BookCon and it's actually already started and I'm still in my hotel room. But I needed to get a little bit more sleep. I actually slept a whole 6 hours last night. But I was up late trying to figure out how I'm getting these books home and trying to sort through luggage and stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to mail them because I just can't figure it out. And luckily there is a 24-hour FedEx that's open today that's really close to my hotel, so I'm going to be going there this evening after dinner and everything. But I wanted to show you my makeup and my outfit of the day. So I've got some rainbow eyes going on here and my sparkly lips, and then I'm wearing my Pride Book Nerd shirt as well as my BookTube pin and my little Pride library card. Jeans, flip-flops, and an extra band-aid on my toes because now I have 3 lovely blisters. They're great. So now I'm going to run down to the restaurant, grab my breakfast, and head on over to the convention center. So I'll try to do better at vlogging. Honestly, I don't know how long this video is going to be because there is so much to it. And that's also part of why I've only been showing like little clips. So it may be ridiculously long, it may not be. I don't know. I'll try to do a little bit better with vlogging today though, since it is the last day. But I'm going to go and I will talk to you later. So because I have a ridiculous amount of books already, I've decided that I'm mostly going to just do panels today. So I am at the Read with Pride panel right now. So I thought I'd take some clips of that and show you. Yeah, no, that's, you know. Alright, enjoy. Okay, so that was the panel that was at this time yesterday. I'm dumb. The panel that's for today, that's right here, same genre, but it's Love is Love, answering the call for queer love stories across the board. And I just wanted to go ahead and correct that before it got started. Alright, here we go.
To my right, directly to my right, born and raised in St. Thomas of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Hixson Calendar is the award-winning author of the middle grade novel Hurricane Child, the young adult novels This Is Kind of an Epic Love Story, and Felix Ever After, and the adult novel Queen of the Conquered. Hixson was previously an associate editor of Little Brown Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Hachette Book Group, where they acquired and edited novels including Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles, the New York Times bestseller Internment by Samira Ahmed, and the Stonewall Honor Award-winning novel Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. Directly to their right is Angelos Sermelis, who was raised in Greece until he immigrated to Illinois, which is also my home state, at the age of 5. He currently lives in Los Angeles. An award-winning interior and product designer, Sermelis has been featured in over 50 television shows, including The Today Show and Extra, as well as in magazines such as In Style, TV Guide, and Entertainment Weekly. He's worked as a host on networks like HGTV, TLC, and Lifetime, and sold his home goods product line on QVC for several seasons. His debut YA novel, The Dangerous Art of Blending In, was labeled an important read for LGBTQ youth by Teen Vogue, Publishers Weekly, Kirkus, and BuzzFeed, and the book was also chosen as an Indie Next Book for 2018. Directly to his right, Abdi Nazemian is the author of Like a Love Story and The Authentics. His novel, The Walk-In Closet, won the Lambda Literary Award for LGBT debut fiction. His screenwriting credits include the films The Artist's Wife, The Quiet, and the NBC television series The Village. He has been an executive producer and associate producer on numerous films, including Call Me By Your Name, Little Woods, and Scotty and the Secret History of Hollywood. He lives in Los Angeles with his fiancée and their 2 children. And then, rounding it out, Taylor K. Mejia is a YA and MG, fantasy, which means middle grade, right? Yes. Fantasy author at home in the wild woods and alpine meadows of Southern Oregon. She's active in the Latinx lit community and passionate about representation for marginalized teens in media. We Set the Dark on Fire is her first novel, so please join me in welcoming this esteemed panel. So the title of our panel has to do with the call for queer stories in fiction. Growing up, as you're a reader, I assume that you are readers, since you're writers. Most writers that I know are readers. Were you aware of the first time you encountered queer stories, and if so, were there any in particular that kind of woke you up? And so that's one part of the question. And or were you aware of the absence of queer stories? Is there anybody who'd like to say?
For me, the first time I encountered a queer story was actually through fan fiction. I know a lot of people in the millennial generation tends to have a similar story. It was Gundam Wing fan fiction, it was anime fan fiction. And I was actually kind of raised to be pretty homophobic. I'm from St. Thomas of the U.S. Virgin Islands, so there's just kind of like a cultural homophobia. It was very internalized, and that was the first time I encountered a queer story, and the first time I realized, oh, maybe it's not so bad to be queer. They're just in love. They're not doing anything wrong. So that was the like a milestone moment for me, and really what kind of like changed my life and made me start to think that I myself could be queer as well. Because of that, I wasn't really aware of the lack of queer stories because I wasn't really looking for them until I found that fan fiction, and I was really hungry for it, and I was just on fanfiction.net every day and write my own fan fiction, which I hope stays buried forever. I probably should not even mention that.
The internet is forever, though, isn't it? Even like some person somewhere can find some cached something somewhere, right? Yeah.
As soon as I got my first book deal, I was like, let me try to lock this down. I could not remember my password, so unfortunately it's still out there.
I think the first queer book I ever read was Empress of the World by Sarah Ryan. I don't know if you guys have read that one. I was at the public library in my hometown, which was really small, so the young adult section is like one tiny little shelf, and back then it was even smaller. And I picked it up because it was a summer camp book, and I grew up super poor, and I was fascinated by summer camp, so I would read any book about summer camp. And this one was like a summer camp for gifted and talented kids, and it was like a queer romance you did not see coming, and the character didn't see it coming, and it was super relatable to me. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna like this book even though the girls fall in love, and then by the end I was like, damn. I think I like this book because the girls fell in love. So that was kind of an awakening moment for me. But I think after that I did, because I was like, okay, so like where are the rest of the books where the girls fall in love? And I was like, oh, there aren't really any. So I think that's definitely, as a speculative fiction reader mostly, it was hard to find books in that genre where there were queer romances, so that's what I always wanted to write.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the absence of queer stories. I definitely felt that. I also grew up in a community, in the Iranian community, that was, you know, homophobic, and it was very ingrained. So there probably were queer stories out there that I wasn't exposed to because it just wasn't something that was in our orbit. For me, I think the first ones that come to mind, definitely James Baldwin. James Baldwin was really like the author that opened my eyes to a new world and showed me not only queer stories, but queer stories of color, which, you know, at that point in the mainstream, most queer stories were about kind of the white gay male experience usually, and oftentimes it didn't feel like it spoke to me culturally. It didn't, I mean, I loved those stories and they were very impactful, but it didn't feel like my story, whereas Baldwin's stories felt much closer. The other one that comes to mind is Armistead Maupin. and the Tales of the City series, which really was like, it was almost like a rite of passage for queer people to read that. But I really did feel the absence. I mean, I think I spent most of my youth inserting myself as a queer person into narratives that weren't explicitly queer, but that, you know, I made them queer through my reading of it. And it was like, I mean, it's funny now because we have so many stories, but it's funny, I feel like we spent so much of our childhood. I remember getting to college and like there were whole classes in basically like looking at books or films through a queer lens that weren't queer. But it was like, oh no, this really is about queer people. It really is. Like, we're gonna make it that because we don't have our own stories. So I'm happy we do now.
Yeah, my experience was pretty similar because I grew up in a very conservative Greek Orthodox family. And so the idea of queer stories didn't even enter my mind because I knew it was a sin, it was a problem. But the rite of passage for me also was Tales of the City. So much so that the very first time I went to San Francisco, I thought that everyone was gay. Like, I remember getting off of the plane and in the airport, and just like, it was almost like like an MGM musical. I was all like, I'm here, and everyone's gay. And people are like, well, not everyone's gay. I'm like, are you sure everyone's not gay? But yeah, so for me, I was really closeted in so many ways, so I didn't have any queer stories, and so once I was able to see them, which was much later in life in my 20s, I took them all in, and I would pawn them off to all my friends, even my friends that weren't gay, and I'd be like, you've got to read this love story's amazing, and they're like, oh, okay, calm down. So it's so wonderful to be a part of something like this, where now the stories that we're telling are not just one-dimensional, and they are so multicultural, and we were talking about this earlier, that we need more of them, so I love it.
I think you did a long time ago, before I'd even sold a book, about like how you wrote towards your ending, and your ending was, I think you said it was like your, what's those things on the cover?
It's like my lighthouse.
Your lighthouse, yes, and I wrote it down and then I just forgot it, but I didn't quite understand it. I liked it, and I didn't understand it until like more recently. And I feel like that's for me now. Like when I reach that ending, and I'll write the ending first, and then I'll go back and rewrite it. Like that's what I'm writing towards. Like I have this loose idea, and then when I finally get to the ending, and then if it makes me cry, that's when I feel the most powerful, because I feel like I did it. Even if I have more work to do, I'm like, I found this emotion, because like my whole goal is to have an ending where at some point it just makes people cry, not even because it's sad, but just because they're feeling something. And so if I cry at any point, but ideally some point during that end, that's when I feel like I did it.
The lighthouse is a good marker. It's the thing. But for me, it's so I don't quit, right? Like for me, it's because on good days you have something to write towards, and on bad days you're like, well, I can't quit. I just have to get from here to there. But I'm a big believer in the power of having an ending in your mind to guide you. I feel, okay, so when I'm writing, I'll often have like an idea in mind, like a feeling, more than anything else, like a feeling, an image, and that's kind of what I'm writing toward. But I'll also have like little scene markers in mind, like I know that somehow I'm going to get to a particular scene I'm excited to write. And I think the best feeling is if I'm writing in order and I finally get to that scene. So like the scene that I've been kind of dreaming about how it would play out. And it's like, often I'll be a little bit intimidated, because it's like you said, how did you put it? Something becomes kinetic energy. Oh yeah, potential energy becomes kinetic energy, and like in physics, that's when energy is lost. Like you can never have perfect efficacy. Like you lose energy between the idea and the creating of the idea.
The way I put it is like it's nailed it. Like in your head, it's like a perfect minion cupcake, and then like on the page, it's like a melted, hideous minion cupcake. But it's like you have to write the nailed it draft to like actually edit it up. So that's when I feel powered, when I reach those scenes I've like promised myself.
So I think I feel powerful when I write scenes actually in the middle of the book, when you find out something new about a character that completely changes your perception of them. Because I find that those, we often complain about writing in the middle of the book, but I feel like those are some of the most interesting character development moments, because you've passed the sort of introductory period and you're not to the climactic ending period yet, but you have all these really rich character moments where you can reveal things about them and sort of manipulate the reader in a really interesting way, and I enjoy writing this a lot.
I love it. I love it.
We are so excited to be chatting today and then torturing a little bit these lovely folks here. So I will start off real quick to introduce everyone on this panel. Starting off with Kimberly Jones and Gilly Siegel. Hey, behave. The authors of, do you want to show off your book? I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. August 6th. Woo! Be prepared. All right, next to them is Brendan Kiley, author of Tradition. Next to him is Raya Cordova, author of Ruba Born, also Labyrinth Lost.
Do it.
Next to her is Marco Shiro. Already out, much loved and beloved by many. Next to him is my girl next door from the ATS. October 15th. Yeah. Did I say that right? Yeah. I can kind of hear you. You're so far away. All right, and last but not least is David Arnold. Your paperback just came out. Show it off. Are you guys so excited? All right, so here's how BookCon does things. So for folks from Atlanta who are well prepared and know what's up, is that we are not very serious. But because it's BookCon, they already know over here, that's why I picked them. We're gonna have a bit of a discussion and then we're gonna play Truth or Dare. So be prepared for me to torture them and it's gonna be funny. But until then. So I want you all to go down the table and describe your book as if it was a documentary.
All right, what up? So, describe our book as if it was a documentary on Netflix. You go.
This very serious documentary follows two girls in a race riot that breaks out at a high school, which they escape, only to discover the entire city has devolved into riots and nowhere is safe.
Dun, dun, dun.
That sounds like not a documentary.
So jackpot. What would happen if a person who has way too much, way more than they know what to do with, and a person with so little they barely scrape by, have to work together to solve a problem?
In a world where one boy goes to a party, gets drunk, and another boy hypnotizes him, and then the first boy comes out of hypnosis, and everything has changed, and he has to figure out what's going on in his life. Noah Hypnotic coming into Netflix.
You made that sound like the next John Wick movie. Mine's cheating, because if I do mine is like a very gritty contemporary, so it's basically a documentary on me. It pretty much is. So my book is, What If Racism? There you go, that's it.
Mine would be, it would start with a black screen, and it would be... Oh, crap. It would, Despacito would cue on right away, and then it would be a bunch of Despacito. And then all of these witches would just gather in a circle, and they would vanish to another dimension.
What would it be like? I mean, what would it be like if guys just listened to women more? What would the halls of your school be like if those guys weren't making jokes over your shoulder?
For president.
What would it be like if some of those guys instead began to address the problems in their own locker rooms and talk about how they've been accountable or have not been accountable and need to be more accountable to fostering that dangerous culture that we call rape culture?
What is your main takeaway that you want readers to glean after reading your book?
Oh,
so serious.
Oh, this is easy. The main takeaway is that people should not be defined by how much or how little is in their bank accounts. David?
Okay, yes.
Wait, David's takeaway is don't let weird boys at parties hypnotize you.
That, and yeah, I mean, so when I was in high school, I very much felt like there wasn't a place for me, and I know that's, you know, the outcast, like that's not a unique story, but I do also feel like it wasn't, like there was no place for a vulnerable teenage boy. In Noah Hypnotic, his best friend is a tall gay Puerto Rican. One of my best friends is Adam Silvera, who's and I basically just removed whole text threads from my texting with Adam and dropped them into this book. And I was like, oh, it looks good, that's awesome. But Adam and I tell each other that we love each other, and we mean it, and it's not, it's not a thing. And Noah and Alan tell each other that they love each other, and I feel like if more teenage boys felt like they could be vulnerable with each other, then we would have fewer asshole men.
I'm gonna say that I hope the thing people take away is that queer people of color, we deserve stories too.
I've read all of these books, sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because now I want to give everybody's takeaway. Another takeaway? Do it! Another takeaway for Anger is a Gift is that you can be more than one marginalization at a time. Like, you can be at a time. You can be queer, you can be black, and you can be a person dealing with mental illness. Sorry, okay, I'm done.
My takeaway is that there is more magic in the world than we realize, because we've only ever gotten one kind of magical witch story, and it always comes from Europe. And so there are magical brown girls all over the world, especially in Brooklyn, in New York City.
So how can men be better feminists? They can start by listening. And so I wanted to write a dual narrative book. And one of the narrators is a young woman, one of them is a young man, and I want the takeaway to be that this is not an adventure story, but maybe some heroes need to have the heroic value of humility in order to make this a better world.
I think ours would be, or one of ours, I might have another one, would be that growth comes from uncomfortable places, and you should take the time to look at things from someone else's perspective.
My personal one was, I broke it. Hood girls can be the hero too.
This is where we are going to decide for once and for all, based on absolutely important and objective standards, the best book that has ever or will ever exist. And that's no small task, it's fine. So as you can see here, we've got an NCAA style, whole bracketology situation. I am going to pull the books from this very official cup, and we are going to then decide, based on the books going head to head, which one will advance. These authors are going to argue for or against, or give us a big old meh, and then we will kind of get a sense of how the audience feels, but come to a determination of who moves on, and at the end of this panel, you will be privy to the best book that has ever or will ever exist. So, is everybody ready to go? My name is Sarah Ennie. I am a young adult author. My book, Tell Me Everything, came out from Scholastic in February. And I am also the creator and host of the First Draft podcast, where I interview a lot of writers and storytellers, including many of the people on the panel here today. And if you like conversations with authors that aren't just them fighting, you should check out my podcast. Actually, why don't we go down to the line and have you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll kick it off.
I'm Marlon Black. I write dark fantasy books for kids and teens, many about fairies. My most recent book is b.e.a, and my upcoming book is
Hello, I'm Marissa Meyer. I am the author of the Lunar Chronicles, Heartless, and my newest series is the Renegades trilogy. The third and final book, Supernova, is coming out this November.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Donnelly. I'm the author of Lost in a Book, Revolution, and Northern Light. My newest one is Stepsister, and it's been out for about 2 weeks.
So I'm Nick Stone, and I'm fangirling like crazy on the inside because look who I'm up here. I am the author of Dear Martin, Odd One Out, and the forthcoming Jackpot and Clean Getaway, which come out 2 months apart. What the hell am I thinking?
Alright, here we have it, ladies. The first 2 books to go head to head. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory versus Goosebumps. That's true. This is a little unfair. This just says Goosebumps, so like the entire catalog.
All right, I'll start by making a case for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because it is and truly is my favorite book of all 20 on this list. Because it was the book of my childhood, and I remember reading it, and there's such this perfect balance of childhood fantasy and the whimsy, and who doesn't want to go to this chocolate factory? It's so amazing and fantastical. But there's also this wonderful, cruel subplot in which we see all of these horrible, nasty children be punished. And so I loved everything about it, and I still do. I also really love Goosebumps, but my vote's for Charlie.
I agree with Charlie. It also teaches children persistence. If you don't get the golden ticket on the first try, keep eating the chocolate.
You know, I'm going to argue for Goosebumps. Largely because, though, yes, Charlie was definitely one of my favorite books of childhood, Goosebumps, I wanted, every Goosebumps book that came out, I wanted to read. Because not only did I have these like cool experiences reading books and seeing children doing really dumb things sometimes, I liked the idea of a book, something paper with little squiggles printed on a page, being able to scare the crap out of me. I think that's really powerful. Writing scary books is not an easy thing. So if you write a book that can scare a 9 or 10-year-old, clearly you're doing something right.
Holly, what say ye?
So I'm struggling. I'm trying to decide which actually may be the more frightening of the series. I really think, Goosebumps is great. It really opened kids up to horror fiction. It's, the first horror book. But the Chocolate Factory has a legitimate claim to also being kind of horrific.
Truly.
So I'm on the fence.
Well, I think 4 grandparents sleeping in the same bed is pretty frightening. Mental image lingered for me. Well, we got to do hands up, hands down because we got to get through a lot of books. So who here says Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Okay, we got. It looks like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the one to move forward, but just for who would have said Goosebumps? Okay, we got a lot of audience. Unfortunately, you're all losers. Okay. Okay, Charlie's the winner. Okay, next battle royale is The Jungle Book versus Charlotte's Web. Okay, I think it was actually unanimous. I think we're all Charlotte's Web, actually. Great, let's move on. Nancy Drew, which is going to be a TV show. Do you guys know that? Yeah. So excited. Actually, there's an author's daughter is playing Nancy. I forget which author it is. Do you guys remember?
Lisa McMahon.
Look up Nancy Drew's mom. And Lord of the Rings.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness find them. It's
The argument and possibly a threat.
I'm going for the girl power on this one. All
right, let's get some crowd reaction here. We got how many for Nancy Drew? How many for Lord of the Rings? Okay, well that's great because I was going to be the tiebreaker and that's Lord of the Rings for me because I am a writer. Okay. Time to make it up, I promise. Okay, the next 2 books going head to head are It, the Stephen King book, and Frankenstein.
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 arguments against? No, I kind of think that. Yeah, Stephen King, Mary Shelley says you're welcome. Okay. So yeah, to be fair, that was Frankenstein. Okay, the next two books: The Joy Luck Club, and Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
I'm going to go with the Joy Luck Club because Alice in Wonderland is what people think fantasy should be, and they don't know anything about fantasy. It's the idea that fantasy doesn't have to have rules, and anything you want can just happen, and there doesn't have to be any structural rigor.
I'm also going to argue in favor of the Joy Luck Club because it introduced me to a new culture. And I think that books have the power to do that. So, hell yeah, Amy Tan. Bring it, girls.
I gotta go with Alice, the cat, the centipede, the Mad Hatter, the dormouse.
Caterpillar.
Oh, yeah. And all that stuff. It's just so large in my mind. Those images have persisted with me for so long.
Yeah, there's so many things in Alice that have become so iconic in our culture. I have to go with Alice. One, because I wrote a book based on Alice in Wonderland. I'm totally biased. But also it's my mom's favorite book. It's really, as far as I know, the only book other than mine that she likes. She's not a reader, but she loves Alice in Wonderland, and she would disown me if she knew that I didn't say Alice in Wonderland.
Well, let's go get some audience feedback here. So who here says Alice in Wonderland?
Woo!
Who here is repping the Joy Luck Club? Woo! All right, well, in my musician's tiebreaker, I'm saying Joy Luck Club. So okay, this next one, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Okay, the next two books up. 1, 50 Shades of Grey. 2, Dianetics. Oh my god. Dianel Rontier.
50 Shades of Grey, totally. Because I mean Dianetics.
So I will go with 50 Shades of Grey, based on recognition.
I thought it was like weight loss Dianetics. No. I guess 50 Shades of Grey here.
Okay, so from a practical standpoint, I think we're pretty universal on 50 Shades. So 50 Shades moves forward. All right, great. Okay, the next two books. First one, The Handmaid's Tale. And versus Curious George. Let's get some audience feedback for reals. We've had a great discussion. So, The Handmaid's Tale, how many people are for that? Curious George, how many people for that? That's pretty even. I do honestly think The Handmaid's Tale has a little bit more wooing, so I think we're going to go Handmaid's Tale. Okay. The next book matchup is Invisible Man. Which one? The Invisible Man, and by Ralph Ellison. And The Color Purple.
Why we gotta pit the black people against each other? Damn universe. Oh man. You know what? This is really hard for me. I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, I gotta go with The Color Purple. Because of Shug Avery, and because honestly, The Color Purple was the first book I ever saw queer content between black women.
Color Purple might be the first book where I ever saw queer content, period.
Yeah, I think so too.
I read James Baldwin.
And the persistence that The Color Purple gives, you know, she just goes through so much, and she never loses her humanity, she never loses her heart, she does not lose her ability to love. That book just killed me. It was amazing. So yeah, that's my vote.
Yeah, I think we are unanimous. Okay, The Color Purple moves forward. So look at our matchups here. All right, so we're going to go from left to right here. We have the matchups that we have come to. First one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory versus Charlotte's Web.
Oh.
Wow, really taking down childhood here.
I loved Charlotte's Web. I have to stick with Charlie.
Yeah.
It is my book.
I got to go with Charlotte.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, okay. So the next up is Lord of the Rings versus Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Genre, like two genre beginnings.
Yeah. Yes, Lord of the Rings kind of created the fantasy as we know it today, and Frankenstein did the same for like science fiction and horror.
I gotta stick with my girl Mary. I mean, nobody's surprised that I'm saying this. But yeah, sticking with Mary.
I'm sticking with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's like the world's chattiest monster.
Frankenstein moves forward. Thank you, JRR, for everything. What's up next? Next up is the Joy Luck Club versus 50 Shades of Grey.
Weird. So can we just advance?
Yeah.
Anybody gonna
Yeah, okay, we'll see you on the flip, y'all. Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. Wow, The Handmaid's Tale versus The Color Purple.
Wow.
How depressing it wants to be. Right.
Color purple all the way. Like,
Color Purple. Yeah. Okay, great. So The Color Purple takes the day. Oh my gosh. All right, we're already to the final four.
This is the worst.
Charlotte's Web versus Frankenstein.
I can easily go Charlotte's Web.
Frankenstein, it's like the only
Battery's dying. I'll tell you what I chose. Hold on.
It's like sort of a spider versus a reanimated monster. It's an interesting position that we found ourselves in.
They haven't decided yet.
Cemetery.
Yeah, I'm still with Charlotte's Web.
Okay, well let's hear what you guys think. Who here says Frankenstein? And who here is all about Charlotte?
Charlotte's Web won.
That is incorrect. Okay, Frankenstein is the winner. Okay, The Color Purple versus the Joy Luck Club. You guys, what?
I mean, I'm always gonna go for like the queer black woman. This is, always.
Color Purple.
I'm gonna go Joy Luck Club. For the same argument that was posed earlier, that it did introduce me to a new culture. And I mean, I read that when I was, 12 or 13 years old, and the whole immigration story was completely new to me. And so I was fascinated by it, and I felt like I learned a lot about friends that I had whose parents were immigrants, whose friends I had who were Chinese heritage. I just felt like it introduced me to a new part of the world that I did not know about.
What do you think? Okay. All right. Well, let's pan the audience too, so you guys can represent what you want. The Color Purple. Listen, The Color Purple wins, but the Joy Luck Club is so amazing. Of course, everyone should read that book as well. Okay, the final battle is The Color Purple versus Frankenstein. And that might be the first time that sentence has ever been said.
I'm obviously voting for myself again.
Color Purple. It was so deep. Color Purple. You know what? The Color Purple was too good to deny. It was there's only a few books that we were forced to read in high school that were also amazing, and just like I reread them, and The Color Purple was definitely one of those. So that was just going to be the winner from the jump, I think. So The Color Purple wins the day.
I'm ready to go first. Yeah, so I feel like I'm pretty personal across all of my platforms. Like I share a lot of myself online. So I definitely do keep my BookTube channel very book focused because that's what I'm comfortable and like making videos about. But like when I do vlogs and stuff, like I'm taking you around my town while I'm doing the day. You've seen me my day-to-day life there. I like using Goodreads as like a way to give like my short, brief thoughts on books so people can stay like updated more frequently compared to when I can talk about it in videos. And definitely Instagram and Twitter is also like more personal. Like I wouldn't consider that my like BookTube or Bookstagram account. So yeah, I think that I have some very bookish focused places, but there's other that like I just want to share my life with others.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like with Instagram, it's like a really safe place. I feel Instagram is very safe and it makes me really happy. YouTube is a little bit more stressful, but in a good way, because you know it is a place that I really need to edit the videos, I need to make sure that they're good. It takes a couple days to film, edit, and release videos and everything. And Instagram is very instant. But you know, YouTube, I've been doing it as long as I've been doing Instagram, but Instagram I've never really fully transformed into a Bookstagram or a book account. It's always been my personal self, and I think I'm going to continue on with that. Just like Emma said, like it's nice to have like the personal space, and then having the space where you talk about all the books, and like Goodreads, yes, but Twitter is like literally where I share all my thoughts on books, and I gush about them, and I tweet authors, and I'm like, can I have the next one, please? Thanks.
Everybody's got their cameras out. Yep, whole bunch of booktubers here.
How much of your book so far?
Hey, Allie.
I cannot wait to go through all the raw footage. It's going to be such a clusterfuck.
Zoe and Sophie have made it to our table. Okay, so this is a little bit strange. Let me show you what's going on. Okay, so there's a few of the, I guess, bigger booktubers, but I don't know. Not all of them are really big, but they're lined up there, and we're being told table by table we can get up and meet them, but I'm like, I mean, cool, I guess. I don't know. I thought we were just gonna be all mingling together, but whatever. I'm with all the cool people. Yeah.
I'm getting Napoleon Dynamite box. I'm not vlog anymore.
So, BookCon is over. Everybody is saying their goodbyes. It's really sad. I'm not ready for this. I've had so much fun getting to actually be around all of these people, and it's just been an experience, and I cannot wait to do it again, and I want to cry. Okay, gonna maybe take some pictures and say some goodbyes, and I'll talk to you later. I got to meet Haley, Hannah, and Zoe. They're so sweet. Oh, BookCon, I will miss you. My feet won't miss you. My lack of sleep won't miss you. But I will miss you.
For you.
It's Serendipity all by my lonesome, but this is such a cool restaurant. Hold on, let me show a little bit more of the restaurant. Alright, now I gotta look at this menu and figure out what I want to eat. Ooh. Yeah, man. Okay, so I'm totally not gonna be able to eat all of this, but normally all I ever get for dessert is a frozen hot chocolate, and I really wanted to get that because I keep telling everybody about it, so I have to at least show that. But then I wanted to get a different kind of dessert this time because, like I said, I always get the frozen hot chocolate, and I wanted to get something a little bit different. And because it's Pride, they have a special rainbow sprinkle glitter fairy dust and unicorn horn cake dessert thing. So, I mean, I'm all like rainbowed out today, so I might as well get that and have it matching dessert. So, as soon as that comes, I will show it to you. Oh my gosh, guys. This is crazy. Alright. Look at that. It's actually called a unicorn sundae, but holy cow. And then here is the frozen hot chocolate. This thing is massive and delicious. Now there's no way I'm going to be able to finish all this myself, but I'm certainly going to have some of it. So I want to make one more stop before I head back to the hotel and start trying to get my stuff together to check out tomorrow. So sad. But I'm going to take you one more place that I think is really, really cool here and yeah, just show it to you. I don't know that I'll actually get anything from there, but it's still a cool place. I'm so full. Oh, as far as those desserts, I still have this and I still have like almost the entire piece of cake. I managed to eat the ice cream and that was about it, but I'm like stuffed. Okay, almost here. I'm walking past it right now. All right, let me turn this camera around. So this place is called Dylan's Candy Bar. I'm back in the hotel. As you can see, my hair is looking a bit different. Well, so I carried around my umbrella all freaking day. Like, all day. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. And so when I got back from dinner, I took my umbrella off my bag because it was clipped to my bag, laid it on the bed, loaded up my suitcases full of books, and went down the 12 floors to go and take my books to FedEx to get them shipped. Okay, so I get all the way down there and start walking in the wrong direction. Didn't realize I was going in the wrong direction. According to my map, it looked like I was going in the right direction, and I was, for the wrong FedEx, because there are two on the same street, one in one direction, one in the other. One was closed, the other's 24 hours. So I walked 3 blocks to the one that was closed and shortly after I started walking, and I'm dragging 100 pounds of books along. Actually, it was more like 110 pounds of books. Dragging them, it starts pouring rain. I'm getting soaked. My suitcases are getting soaked. I'm praying that my books are not getting soaked. And I get all the way down to this FedEx and it's closed, and I'm like, really? So in the rain, under like this little awning, I'm pulling up my phone trying to see what's going on, and I realized that I've gone the wrong direction. So I went 3 blocks in the wrong direction, and I only needed to go 4 blocks to get to the FedEx, but now I've got to go the 3 blocks back plus another 4 blocks. So I had to do 7 blocks on top of the 3 that I went in the wrong direction. So 10 blocks. Raining the entire time. Torrential downpour. I was just dripping, soaking wet when I walked into the FedEx. It stopped raining. It stopped raining right after I went into the FedEx. I'm like, New York hates me. But I made it back to the hotel. I got my books shipped. It was pricey, but I got them shipped. And now I need to get my suitcases all packed up because I check out in the morning. I don't leave until like tomorrow night, but I have to check out of my hotel tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna get all packed up, and in the morning I'll just store my bags while I don't know what. I have no idea what I'm gonna do during the day tomorrow. I think my flight leaves around 8 o'clock at night, so I have really the whole day to just do whatever. But I have had such an amazing time here, and I got to meet several of you and several other booktubers, and it was just such an amazing experience, and I had so much fun, and I absolutely cannot wait to do it again. I've learned a lot from this trip, and things that I need to do next time, things I need to not do, and yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. Had a lot of fun. Totally intend on doing it again. Hopefully I can do it again next year. And hopefully I can see even more of you wonderful people there as well. So I guess I'm just going to end this here because it's like almost midnight. So let me see. It's 11:47 p.m. on Sunday, June 2nd. And I guess this is a good enough place as any to end this reading vlog. Actually, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a part 2 of this reading vlog because I imagine I'm going to have to split it up because I'm guessing there's an insane amount of footage. I haven't checked. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below.